Howdy y'all, it's Cody from the Keepers of Nerdom. How you doing? Star Trek the Motion Picture. Is it actually any good? Let's run through it quickly. We're going to make this one a shorter video and just run through. What is it? What we see in the movie is a giant cloud in space with like potentially a coverage of several astronomical units, AUs, that defeats and destroys Klingon ships like they're nothing and defeats a space station of humanity, of Earth, as though it has no capabilities whatsoever. Pretty interesting. We find out later this thing is known as V'ger, and the Enterprise is sent to try to figure out what it is, and it's headed towards Earth. So this is kind of an important detail that if they don't address it and stop it, it could destroy everything in its path. But at first it's a cloud that's just overtakes things, and the Enterprise is dispatched to figure out what it is. And what we'll see is it's something pretty fascinating in the film. So we just need to talk about it. This is the debut of the Enterprise motion picture refit. Very, very pretty. You can see that sometimes the warp engine, the deflector dish is a different color at times depending on power and also movie time frames and whatnot. Even like a purplish glow in between the nacelles in some movies. So the motion picture Enterprise, beautiful ship. How it performs in most of the movies, pretty terrible actually. It's not great. It's weird, but it looks so good. And I mean, man, some of this movie, that's the thing about this movie you have to understand. It is the most sci-fi movie, science fiction movie that you'll ever see as far as Star Trek, but it's also super, super slow because it's more about a story than any action. It's wanting to give you a thought process. And I like it in that way, but it is boring too. You just have to kind of swallow that truth of it and go, okay, it's going to be a slow movie, but it will be good in the long term if you understand it and pay attention. But it is slow, so that it gets boring quickly. But yeah, the Enterprise is fantastic looking in this. We have two new characters that are definitely the focus of this film quite a bit. We have Matt Decker on the left, who is supposed to be the captain of the Enterprise, and then Kirk comes on board and takes control. And Matt Decker is relegated to first officer and doesn't like it, but challenges Kirk. And he also understands the ship way better than Kirk, because Kirk, his Enterprise was before the refit, and the refit has changed how things function, like how the phasers fire and where they get their power from. And then, is it Lieutenant Ilia, I think, who's a Deltan, which is apparently a thing. And within the film, she gets digitized, destroyed, and a probe or robot that looks like her and has her memories is brought to the Enterprise to interact, to try to figure things out from V'ger's perspective. They're very interesting characters. I actually really appreciated Captain Decker, his challenging of Kirk, because Kirk just doesn't always think things very through in this. We also see one of the most disturbing things we've ever seen in transporter accidents, and they give us some sort of representation of that happening, and wow, that is messed up. Crazy weird. Just something to note, and I'm impressed they put it in here. We have the cast back, and obviously some returning people, and we have some people also, if you'll notice, is it Janice Rand and Nurse Chapel, who's now a doctor. And it's great. It's great to see there's progression happening for other people, although the Enterprise bridge crew and engineering, like Scotty and stuff, are still in their same spots, basically. It's very strange. Very, very strange. But also you'll notice that the uniforms don't match. The motion pictures doesn't match to what's different after this. Like, this is just, we get these one time, which is funny. I think I have them on Star Trek Online because they were like free years ago. And just another picture just to kind of see it. Just fascinating. Just a fascinating concept here of outfits and design. Very cool. But what we find is that the Enterprise goes to investigate with V'ger, and since it doesn't attack V'ger or anything, V'ger actually lets it in, which the outpost, the regular something station or whatever it was called, I can't even remember that outpost name. It wasn't firing at it either, if memory serves, and yet it still digitized it. So it lets the Enterprise in for some reason, and maybe it's because of Spock. And we get into these crazy visuals once you start getting inside of it, of how big this thing is, how insane it is. And I mean, it really is a visual treat. It really is a visual treat movie. Not a lot of action, but a lot of visual treats. So that cloud initially, and then they get inside of it like this massive spot. And let's just look at it. This is V'ger. Okay, so first off, we have concept art up on the top left of what V'ger was supposed to be like. We have a ship from probably Eaglemoss, just the model itself, and then another rendering of it down at the bottom right. And then up to the top right, what we have is actually what V'ger is. It's really Voyager, is it 6? Voyager 6, that has been improved and upgraded and given sentience by some sort of machine species on some planet. We never get all those details. Some people speculate the Borg, which, hey, cool. I mean, that'd be interesting. But this thing is just massive. It's on a scale that is just insane. And like, did the machine species build it like this, or was it smaller and just over its travels back to Earth, it kept learning more stuff and inputting it into its build? I don't know, but it's really cool. And it's a neat little twist that it's actually a Voyager probe sent out from Earth centuries ago, and now is returning home to give information to its creator, which it doesn't understand that it's lowly little humans because of how big and epic it is. Although it's funny whenever you see that concept, just what it does. So yeah, V'ger is actually Voyager 6, and it's all the way down in here. It's interesting, like, how is it hooked up to the rest of the ship? Because obviously it couldn't have sentience with this small of a craft that's this antiquated, right? Because it's got to be more of what's around it. So we continue on. That's it's interesting because the film is Spock trying to connect to this crazy massive thing, Kirk trying to learn a new ship that's an old ship but new because of the refit. It's a return of the cast and at least some interactions there, right? And then the challenge of some new crew, and in the end, Captain Decker, or Commander Decker as he's demoted in essence, merges with Ilia, so that way the probe gets the information that yes, humans are actually, which is funny because when you realize V'ger's already uploaded humans from that space station, so actually that's already kind of happened if they had it in their memories, which they may not have. But it's just funny because the Enterprise crew, oh my gosh, it is totally Voyager 6, right? And they just know, and so does Matt Decker. But it's just an interesting thing. Is it good? If you enjoy sci-fi and like 2001: A Space Odyssey concept, yes. But you have to understand with a grain of salt, this is a very slow film. It just plods along. It is not trying to go fast. It is trying to just give you scope and scale of something that is so far beyond humanity. And then V'ger at the end ascends to a higher plane of existence because now it has delivered its message, and now it understands humanity in a different way as the creator and the emotions of it, even though they'd already digitized Klingons and humans on the space station, but anyway, and Klingons on their ships. But yeah, is it any good? I think so. It's just one of those that it's also boring too. That's a funny thing. Like, it's a good movie, but it's also boring. You just have to take that with a grain of salt, that the concept that is there is really good, but it is a slow film. I've been Cody from the Keepers of Nerddom. Like, share, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what you think about Star Trek: The Motion Picture. Take care, y'all.